Good evening, folks. I'm Dwayne Lindo. Adam Cellini has the night off. Topping our news tonight, the opioid epidemic continues on the Suncoast, but local doctors may have a solution. According to the Florida Medical Examiner's 2015 report, the Suncoast is leading the state with the number of opioid deaths. ABC 7's Erica Jackson tells us the fix may come in two drugs, which must be prescribed by a specialty provider.
The Manatee County Sheriff's Office tells us in just January alone, it responded to 60 overdose calls, and 12 of those ended up being fatal. And that's why the group here in Bradenton, No Longer Silent, is bringing in the experts to help save lives.
He went to jail for a little bit and he was clean. He came out and stayed with us, tried to stay clean, and we didn't know he was using again, and we found him deceased at our home.
Jerry Stanhope is no stranger to drug addiction. She lost her son, grandson, and 2 other family members in the last 3 years, all to opioid addiction.
Cocaine, fentanyl, heroin.
She tells us her son tried to get help when his addiction became serious, but help wasn't readily available.
There's not enough treatment in Manatee County. People that want help try to get it, and they can't get into places.
Just south of Manatee in Sarasota County, Dr. Scott Lance specializes in medically assisted recovery. On Saturday, he spoke to family members of those suffering from an opioid addiction about 2 prescriptions to help with recovery, Suboxone and Vivitrol.
They both work by blocking the opiate receptors in the brain. It blocks the receptors, and so patients have no withdrawal and no physical cravings.
Manatee County Commissioner Carol Whitmore says the local government hopes to get funding from the state to find new solutions to beat the epidemic.
We're trying to form this new group called the Peer Group, where we actually can have people that have actually gone through the process and recovered, and work with people that are actually addicts now and try to help them through it.
If you see a friend or a family member is suffering from symptoms of a drug overdose, it's important to immediately call 911. Those people are protected by the Good Samaritan Act. The law protects those that act in good faith to save a life. Reporting in Bradenton, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Ranch man has been arrested and charged. Early this morning, Manatee County Sheriff's Office located Jose Hernandez. He's been charged with murder and armed robbery in the shooting death of Alexander Chirp. Alexander Chirp's body was found with gunshot wounds outside of his car earlier this month in the parking lot of Greenbrook Park. The Gold Star Club of Manatee County is offering a $5,000 reward for key information in the murder. Crime Stoppers is also offering an additional $3,000 reward. No details at this time if anyone will be collecting that reward for Hernandez's capture. A second suspect was also in this murder investigation. Alan Bailey remains at large. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact the Manatee County Crime Stoppers at 1-866-634-TIPS. The city of Venice sharpening up the skills of their fire department. Today, the Venice Fire Department concluded 3 days of extensive fire training at the Englewood Fire Academy. Personnel sharpened their skills on search and rescue techniques, fire ground radio communications, hose operations, and firefighter survivability methods. Members also crawled through a confined space maze built within the facility. Fire crews were rotated down to Englewood to allow every member a chance to take advantage of Englewood's state-of-the-art training facility. Now let's go to Wendy Ross for a first look at our weather. Wendy?
Hello, Dwayne. As a matter of fact, we are finally starting to see the showers out of our area, but we still have some lingering rains just to our north. Most of this activity is stretching out here into the Gulf of Mexico and along the west coast of Florida, our area. Most of these showers have now moved on towards the east. So we're going to start to see that fog. It's already started to build up across parts of our viewing area, and that's going to stay with us throughout the early morning time period tomorrow. Temperatures have not dropped all that much. 68 degrees for us. Humidity is high. The wind's coming in out of the southwest, and that's going to keep us on the warmer side for the rest of tonight. We may see a couple of those showers to our north start to sink on down to the south, so there's the possibility of some showers coming in during the early morning time period. And we'll let you know how the rest of the weekend is shaping up. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Dwayne?
Wendy, thank you. Newtown Alive unveiling historic markers today at the Robert L. Taylor Community Complex today. The event unveiled archival photographs, original maps, and memorabilia of Sarasota's African American community. Over the last year, a research team featuring Vicki Oldham joined volunteers to search libraries, databases, cultural centers, and personal collections for information about the 100-year history of Overtown and Newtown. Today, their work is paying off.
Oh, it's so special to see the community coming together to celebrate African American history, the history of Newtown and Overtown. The community is a lot of the times misunderstood, but the community that I grew up in was just so close. They were so caring. We are family, and that's what this event is all about.
Describe why African Americans came to Sarasota, their life work, education, social and religious traditions, and part of this Newtown project included the integrated web page as well as a mobile app. The 9th annual Ranch Rodeo was underway today at the Manatee County Fairgrounds. A great turnout to the event. Over 700 people went out to cheer on 11 different teams. The teams competed for a chance to go to the state finals in Kissimmee, Florida, which will be taking place on September 29th and September 30th.
Today we had team sorting, double mugging, cab branding, team doctoring, and woods tying. Those are the events that we done today, and it's just everyday cowboys and cowgirls doing what they love to do.
The winners of today's road, Blackbeard Ranch from Mayaca City, who will move on to the state finals. Still to come here on ABC7, President Trump's back in the campaign mode, rallying his supporters in Florida, and locals taking to the streets to voice their concerns about Trump's administration. And 3, 2, 1, no liftoff. Why officials say a rocket launch at Cape Canaveral was postponed.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7, your Suncoast News.
We may be one step closer to a test that predicts baldness. Details in Health News.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Attention, this is an important message for anyone who has taken Xarelto or Pradaxa. If you or a loved one took the blood thinner medication Xarelto or Pradaxa and was then hospitalized for internal bleeding, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to serious, even fatal internal bleeding. If you suffered a stroke, heart attack, or serious internal bleeding, or if a loved one died after taking Xarelto or Pradaxa, call us now. Our network of attorneys have years of experience fighting the big pharmaceutical companies and is ready to fight for you. Potential claims are being reviewed for users of Xarelto or Pradaxa who have suffered severe bleeding or hemorrhaging, stroke, or even death. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You won't pay a thing unless your case is settled. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone.
Please call 800-928-6604. That is 800-928-6604.
For years, I told everyone my Craftmatic adjustable bed was the greatest until I got the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has an adjustable pillow feature that's awesome. You're gonna want one too when you see how little they cost.
If you've ever had a bad night's sleep, call and price the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has so much more than other adjustables and still costs up to 50% less. Featuring a rising adjustable pillow rest, bedside power plugs, underbed night lights, and more. Available in all mattress types with optional heat and soothing massage for as much as half the price of Tempur-Pedic, Sleep Number, and other adjustables. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. Adjust the rising pillow feature to help align your head, neck, and shoulders. See for yourself with our 30-day in-home trial. So call and price one today for less, up to 50% less.
You get so much more and it still costs less. You gotta see how little they cost.
Call 1-800-237-0214. That's 1-800-237-0214. Call 1-800-237-0214. Call now.
President Trump was on the road in Florida tonight, leaving behind the turmoil in Washington for a political rally that drew thousands of enthusiastic supporters. It was a big change from the torrent of controversy and criticism the president has been hit with just weeks on the job. Here's ABC's Chuck Sivertson.
Seems like old times. Barely a month in office, President Trump trading jeers for cheers at a Florida rally billed as a campaign event.
I'm here because I want to be among my friends and among the people.
One day after the president condemned the news media as the enemy of the American people.
When the media lies to people, I will never, ever let them get away with it. I will do whatever I can that they don't get away with it. They have their own agenda, and their agenda is not your agenda.
He even took a swipe at his predecessor.
That mess that I was left by Obama.
Mr. Trump's supporters lined up by the thousands, an estimated 9,000 in all.
Yes! Thank God!
Rallying round a leader under heavy fire.
Let him do his job and don't undermine everything he does.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Anti-Trump protesters also turned out in force today in Florida.
That he's been the most unpresidential president I've ever witnessed.
And around the country, where they interrupted town hall meetings organized by Republicans.
We need to get this Russian thing outside of the political arena.
For President Trump, it was a brief break from his troubles. It's back to the trenches in Washington next week, just in time for President's Day. Chuck Sivertson, ABC News, New York.
And meanwhile, here on the Sun Coast, a massive march was underway at 5 Points Park. Crowds took over the streets of downtown Sarasota to raise their voices regarding controversial topics the Trump administration has sparked since being sworn into office. ABC 7's photographer Sammy Chido was there with their message.
Not my president! Not my president! Not my president!
I think the turnout was great. I think especially for a sort of semi-rainy day, I think that this movement, or whatever we want to call it, is getting more and more organized. I think we're going to see more and more people coming out, and I feel really good about it. I'm really excited.
USA no Trump! No KKK, no racist! USA no Trump!
I think it was really good. This is my first one. I'm really excited. It was a lot of fun. A lot of people came out. We had a lot of people honking.
This was bigger than I was expecting, and I was really happy to see as we walked, the people that joined in the walk and people who were supporting us from the sidelines. It felt, like really positive, really good.
I did not know about it. If I did, I'd be marching today. But I'm very happy. I support them 100%.
Pick an issue. There's 20,000 signs, different signs. It's just rare for so many different diverse groups to come together because this administration is just doing things that are affecting everybody.
We'll never be divided. The people united will never be divided.
This is important because, at this point there's so much that I disagree with. I'm worried about what kind of future we have, and I feel like maybe this is an opportunity where we can make a difference.
To see this energy and seeing the confluence of young people and older people and retirees and all having energy, and I think the police have even been very supportive.
You always have somebody that's going to be against a movement or against a walk, but everything was actually really positive.
The Sarasota Republican Party is planning their own rally on March 4th to show support for President Trump and his administration. Authorities say it was a 2x4 that struck President Donald Trump's motorcade Friday as he traveled to his Mar-a-Lago resort here in Florida. 5 middle school students are now facing charges for that incident. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office announced today officers assisting the U.S. Secret Service reported that a vehicle in the motorcade had been struck by what was believed to be a small hard object. A child from a local middle school confessed to throwing the piece of wood at the motorcade and also implicated 4 additional students. Charges will be filed with the Palm Beach County State's Attorney's Office. Other on the Space Coast today, Florida. Today, the latest SpaceX rocket launch that was scheduled for liftoff this morning was canceled. The launch will have to wait at least one more day after the last-minute trouble at the Kennedy Space Center. SpaceX tweeted that they wanted to take a closer look at the positioning of the second-stage engine nozzle. The spacecraft, called the Dragon, is packed with more than 5,000 pounds of cargo and experiments. This will be the first launch from Florida since a rocket explosion on September 1st.
Well, they shouldn't have any problems as far as the weather is concerned.
Right. A little bit of rain today, too.
We had the rain. We had some thunderstorms that came through. It was something we haven't seen in a long time. We had to brush off the radar to see it. It was really something. And we did have some good rains that came on through, and we're still getting some showers at this time. 77 degrees, despite all of the clouds, was our daytime high today. We had an overnight low of 52 degrees, and it is going to be much warmer today tonight than it was last night. Temperatures right now are in the upper 60s, and they're not going to drop that much more. We're going to see that dew point staying right around 66 degrees, 93% humidity. We're already seeing the fog out there, and the winds are coming in out of the southwest at around 6 miles per hour. To our north, we've got some showers that are all associated with the storm system that came through earlier in the day. It moved off towards the east fairly quickly, and what we're watching right now are these lingering showers. They stretch all the way out here into the Gulf of Mexico, and there is the possibility at around 3 or 4 o'clock this coming morning, we could see a couple more showers coming on through. So the rain is not necessarily over yet, but most of the heavier showers that we saw earlier in the day have now moved off towards the east and are situated over the central part of the state, diminishing as they continue to move eastward. So we are left with some foggy conditions, some drier air moving on in, but we'll have patches of some moisture that will continue to invade the state throughout the overnight time period. And once again tomorrow we're expecting to see a beautiful day, not like what we saw today, but instead we're going to see plenty of sunshine, partly cloudy skies in the forecast for tomorrow. And you'll notice that these rain showers continue to slide down to the south and eventually leave the state, and it's going to leave us with a beautiful start to the work week on Monday. And for some of you, there's even a holiday on Monday, so with President's Day on the Monday. High pressure is going to continue to build for us. This frontal system will also be moving down the state, taking any remaining showers along with it throughout the overnight time period tonight. And we are going to be left with warmer weather, believe it or not. We've got the possibility of a couple of showers coming in around 3 or 4 o'clock during the morning hours. Then we're going to get that morning fog that's going to stick around until about 9 or 10 o'clock. And then the rest of this next coming days, we're going to see warm days ahead with our temperatures right around 78 to 80 degrees. If you're heading on out to the beach, it's going to be a great beach day. Winds start out of the southwest, but once that front sinks on through, we're going to get a shift around towards the northwest at 10 knots. Seas 1 to 2 feet with a light chop. And we've got a temperature reading at the beach of 78 degrees. What we'll experience tonight, 66, some possible showers. And then tomorrow, it will be mild throughout the day with that morning fog. And what we can expect over the next several days, warm weather all the way through Wednesday when the next front comes in. Dwayne?
Great to hear. Thanks, Wendy. Still to come here on ABC 7. Fans get the chance to meet their favorite baseball teams right here on the Suncoast. Stay with us.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
We may be one step closer to a test that predicts baldness. Details in health news.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Car experts and customers agree. There's a whole lot to love about a new Subaru. Subaru was named the 2016 Best Overall Brand, Most Trusted, and Best Performance Brand by Kelley Blue Book. And ALG named Subaru its top mainstream brand for residual value for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month or get 0% financing during the Subaru True Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-962-4112. That's 1-800-962-4112. Call now, 1-800-962-4112. For a free brochure, call 1-800-962-4112.
Although the financial crisis was some years back, it's still hurting many seniors today. But if you're a homeowner 62 or older, there's a mortgage program that just might make life a little easier. It's technically called a home equity conversion mortgage, but to keep it simple, let's call it a reverse mortgage loan. With the reverse mortgage, you can convert your home equity into cash.
We're not overwhelmed with paying the bills anymore.
And at the same time, eliminate your monthly mortgage payments.
We've got money in the bank.
You never give up ownership.
And smiles on our faces.
For your free information kit, call now. You'll have to pay your property taxes and insurance and keep up with maintenance, but you won't make mortgage payments. You'll receive money. For your free information kit, call now.
Call 1-800-634-1517 for more information. That's 1-800-634-1517.
Now, sports.
A fun kickoff event took place in Bradenton today for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The team met with fans to celebrate the start of the spring training season to take part in an autograph session with their favorite player, play games, and enjoy live music. Crowds of people sporting the black and yellow.
It's our 49th season in Bradenton, Florida, our southern home. We're so thrilled to be here. We've got some new additions to the ballpark that we're anxious to show our fans, and we're looking forward to getting the 2017 season started, as it has for 49 years now, right here in Bradenton, Florida.
The first game of spring training will be next Saturday when the Pirates take on the Orioles. And speaking of the Orioles, baseball fans getting the first glimpse of practice at Ed Smith Stadium. It's the second annual family event held by the organization, celebrating the opening of Orioles spring training. Kids as well as adult fans were able to ask catcher Caleb Joseph questions. There was also a variety of games and interactive activities for the kids, including cornhole, Jenga, and a speed pitch machine. It's an event drawing fans from outside the state of Florida.
I'm actually from Hampstead, Maryland, and I'm a diehard Baltimore Orioles fan. We have a 29-game season plan at home, and we love to come down here to spring training to see what's going on and talk to the players. It's an opportunity to meet them, which is much harder to do at home.
We're learning about the Orioles, so we were out here Tuesday for the opening workouts, and we're starting to want to see what they're doing, and we're going to see a couple of games.
There was even a variety of food truck options available for those attending. Now, the Lightning ending their matchup with a loss, losing to the Dallas Stars 4-3 in overtime. The Lightning are 5 points behind the Toronto Maple Leafs for the final wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. And with 24 games left until the end of the regular season, time is running out for them to make a push towards the postseason. The Red Hot Gators, ranked 15th in the AP poll, are on a roll with 8 straight SEC wins, the longest for second-year coach Mike White in his 2-year tenure. Florida already up by 8 in the second half, and the alley-oop to Kavarius Hayes with that dunk you just saw there. Later in the second, Casey Hill nails the mid-range jumper. Hill would hit his career 1,000-point mark later in the game. Gators take win number 8 on the road, 57-52. And along with some other changes being made to prepare for the upcoming racing season, NASCAR has beefed up its concussion protocol with a consistent screening rule at all venues. Now, drivers who are involved in a wreck that sends their car to the garage will now be required to report for an evaluation. The new rule comes after popular driver Dale Earnhardt Jr. missed the second half of last season with a concussion. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
I won Cash for Life from the Florida Lottery! So I get $1,000 a day every day for the rest of my life. Day 1, bought a pony, we're best buds. Day 7, this is crazy! Another day, another grand. This one's on me. Then Mom said, better save some. And another grand, share the love. I don't even play this thing, but I got a bunch. And another grand, and another grand, another grand, another grand.
Let's do it again tomorrow.
With a prize of $1,000 a day for life, the new Cash for Life draw game is your ticket to a grand day every day.
For years, I told everyone my Craftmatic adjustable bed was the greatest until I got the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has an adjustable pillow feature that's awesome. You're gonna want one too when you see how little they cost.
If you've ever had a bad night's sleep, call and price the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has so much more than other adjustables and still costs up to 50% less, featuring a rising adjustable pillow rest, bedside power plugs, underbed night lights, and more. Available in all mattress types with optional heat and soothing massage for as much as half the price of Tempur-Pedic, Sleep Number, and other adjustables. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. Adjust the rising pillow feature to help align your head, neck, and shoulders. See for yourself with our 30-day in-home trial. So call and price one today for less, up to 50% less.
You get so much more and it still costs less. You gotta see how little they cost.
Call 1-800-237-0214. That's 1-800-237-0214. Call 1-800-237-0214. Call now.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
Ideologue. I am an originalist.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct prices.
Plus, New South windows are made in Florida.
Fort Florida Home.
By Florida workers. Because we know Florida weather.
Right now, buy 2 windows, get the 3rd free, plus our lifetime warranty. New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
A normal morning drive into Washington, D.C. wasn't normal at all for one garbage truck driver. Check out this little guy just hanging on back of a garbage truck. Someone spotted the raccoon holding on and altered the truck driver. 3 Falls Church police officers responded with catch poles, but by that time, the raccoon had crawled into the truck container. Photos by the City of Falls Church show the truck driver on the top of the truck retrieving the raccoon with the pole. Later on, the raccoon was released at a nearby park.
Oh, bless his heart.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
That is a cute picture. Well, he found lunch, breakfast, dinner. He was in a happy place.
Looks like a
he?
decoy.
That's so true. That's so true. We do have to tell people, just be careful if you're driving out and about right now, because we do have some fog out there, and we are looking for that fog to finally come to an end sometime tomorrow morning, and then it'll be beautiful again.
Yeah, and we'll see you tomorrow at 6:30.